This is InFocus News. Hello, I'm David Gibbons.
And I'm Tanya Chan. Thanks for joining us.
The President of the Adventist Church in the South Pacific, Dr. Barry Oliver, has declared Adventist Christian schools to be core to the mission of the Church.
It's not just a core mission, it is core mission. And certainly that's my conviction.
More than 70 ministers, teachers and administrators from across Australia spent 2 days at an education summit in Melbourne.
In our system, we are always looking for the best teachers. We are looking for more than Christian teachers. We're looking for teachers who understand and live the special character of Adventist education.
The summit explored the distinctives and values of Adventist schooling, the problems of staffing and finances, and how to be more effective in presenting Jesus Christ to young people.
I believe that our schools actually provide the best evangelistic opportunity that we have as a church in the next 5 to 10 years.
Adventist first established schools in Australia and New Zealand more than 100 years ago. And you can watch all of the full interviews online.
The state member for Woodridge has been returned with the widest margin of any seat at the recent Queensland elections. Mrs Desley Scott, who is a Seventh-day Adventist, returned to office last week with more than 70% of her electorate voting for her, making Woodridge the safest seat in Queensland. Mrs Scott has held the Southern Brisbane seat for the Labor Party since she entered Parliament in 2001.
The Queensland Premier, Anna Bligh, received a $30,000 cheque from the Adventist Development and Relief Agency in Australia to assist families affected by the Queensland floods earlier this year. South Queensland ADRA Director Pastor Chris Foote was told that Seventh-day Adventists were the first Christian denomination to come forward and provide assistance. Cyclone Charlotte and Ellie, both rated as Category 1, wreaked havoc in the Carpentaria and Hinchinbrook Shires, with up to 65% of homes destroyed by flooding. The Kowanyama Aboriginal Shire Council expects to remain cut off until the end of April.
15 months ago, Adventist pastor Brendan Pratt was totally paralysed. Pratt suffered from an attack of transverse myelitis. His body's immune system attacked his spine instead of the flu he had at the time. But today he is mobile again, thanks to a miracle. Pratt received blood transfusions, but God played a bigger part. This Easter, Pratt will spend time with his family and thanking God for the miracle of life.
Most people who end up with transverse myelitis don't make a full recovery, and especially not as quickly as mine. In fact, my neurologist, she calls me the miracle man.
Adventists are using Easter this year to remind the community that Jesus Christ died for them. And the church is encouraging the public to give something back to the community by making a blood donation. The You Can Too television commercial campaign will go to air in Australia, New Zealand and Fiji again this Easter.
The Sanitarium Health Food Company experiment with reopening a cafe in downtown Brisbane 12 months ago has worked, according to manager Deborah Peralta. The vegetarian restaurant and lifestyle centre is a deliberate strategy for the health food icon to quality, freshness and an intentional face-to-face connection with the public. Deborah says that the public are intrigued by the special dedication to Ellen White on the front of the menu. Patrons like to stop and talk with the staff about the value of being healthy. And some days it's standing room only for lunch. New menus for autumn were launched this week, still containing the dedication to Ellen White for her pioneering courage, care and vision. And in this week's edition of Record, 94 senior Adventists retreat to the Alpine Village near Mount Kosciuszko.
$900,000 worth of improvements add value to Avondale's business courses.
Staff and senior students at Heritage College have started classes at a new secondary campus in Officer, Melbourne.
And Adele Nash, the guest editor, says that in the midst of tragedy and a lack of real answers, she believes God understands our suffering and He suffers with us.
Are you watching the full half hour of InFocus on Hope TV each week?
You can also watch segments of the program online as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Tanya Chan.
See you again next week. I'm David Gibbons.